What is good, everyone? Welcome back to Nate Trades and to day 2 of documenting my journey to becoming a consistently profitable day trader. Today is June 23rd, 2026. It's a Tuesday. I took 2 trades today. I'll break those down, the lessons that I learned, and exactly how I was feeling with the market today. But first, let's get right into market bias. All right, going right to the 4 hour, we had displaced lower about 1,000 points during the overnight session, so therefore I was leaning bearish towards this 4 hour intermediate low here. Now we did have an S&T with that. ES had swept it out previously, but because we had dumped 1,000 points, I was still leaning bearish on the day towards that. On the 1 hour, super bearish as well. My goal for the day was to see us move a little higher and then like a retracement on the higher time frame, and then a short towards this 4 hour intermediate low. All right, the first trade was this. Right at market open, we made a move lower and then we displaced higher. Displacement is my entry model. So I entered higher. Now, because of the SMT and because we had displaced so much lower, I thought right at open, if we move lower and then we immediately rip higher, I could see us running, these relative equal highs here towards this 1 hour intermediate high. And so I took a long position here. I did have a very close break even because I've seen with my market experience, I've seen a lot of times how we'll just reverse off of the very close high. Because I was so bearish, I just wanted to see like quick displacement through or I'm out of the trade, which is exactly what happened. I did get wicked out of this trade. All right, the second and final trade on today was this trade right here. We had retraced a little bit and then immediately displaced higher without taking out this 15-minute fair value gap, which was in like the mediocre, the middle of the range, that I was looking for. If we were going to go short, I thought it would reverse off of there. So what happened? We went up. We did hit that 15-minute. I went break even, and then when we pushed through, I just decided to take off a partial, and then it did break even me, wick me out, and then run straight to my TP. Very unfortunate with that, but because I was so bearish on the higher time frame, there's no way I could justify not going break even here. So nothing I can do about that. Happy that I took at least one partial, so I'm slightly green on the day, but nothing I can do about that. Absolutely banger setup. And then the rest of the day, quick run through that. We were trickling higher, trickling lower. There was a couple fake outs that if you don't have a clean draw on liquidity, which I didn't throughout the rest of the day, I didn't take a trade because of that. There's a couple of setups in here that caught my eye. There's a 15-minute fair value gap right here, and then we did get fat displacement up right here. So we would have retraced in this 15 here and then displaced up. And then I could have seen us running higher, but because of the 4 hour, let's go to 4 hour, we had wicked pretty heavily into this 4 hour fair value gap and obviously rejected it. And then as well in the 1 hour, we'd even respected this one right here. Yeah, we didn't tap this one, but ES did. There was an S&T ES tapped this 1 hour, and then we were heavily respecting this one. And then obviously we're overall just trending towards this low right here. I'm pretty confident in that. But yeah, that is it for today's trading recap. Not a ton of lessons. I will say I was very anxious entering market open today. I'm not really sure why. Very nervous. I don't love taking trades overall right at the start near market open, but this was too clean. I had to take this first one and then the second one as well. But yeah, I was pretty nervous. I'm not really sure why on this one, but I know the setup was valid, clean, A plus draw on liquidity, and then I faded, several of these longs, like this long right here, this long right here, and then these shorts as well. I am overall bearish, but I did fade those. Yeah, anyways, enough of me rambling. That is it for today's trading recap. This is day 2 of me documenting my journey to becoming a consistently profitable day trader. If you want to follow along with the journey, subscribe to my channel. And if you want to follow my Insta, I post on there too. I'll post daily bias and morning Bible verses. I'll link that below. And have a great rest of your day, boys. Peace out.